Welcome to Losing Followers, a podcast about content creation in a world where everyone is forced to be a content creator. From two content creators who have been there and have the scars to prove it. So we're filming like a bunch of these kind of out of order. So I don't know if this one's going to be the first one. It might be the first one.
It very well could be.
It very well could be. Listen, life is long and magical. And one thing I kind of resolved at the top of this project was like, I feel like whenever we're filming videos, I'm just like, throw everything away and we have to focus on the topic of the video.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to do that.
I think you've said before you like just goofing around and being loose and seeing what we can do with that.
Yeah,
and that's mostly just us hanging out,
Yeah.
which is why I think podcasting is sort of it's a nice medium for us.
It's a natural extension. But yeah, I want to be like, our dog has been sick for 2 days. I'm losing my mind.
This is Kristen and Bree's dog, Betty.
Yeah, not Jen and I. Jen and I don't have to be crazy. We've announced that we have adopted a dog together. She does have 2 single parents. Welcome to Losing Followers, the podcast about how we're constantly losing followers,
Truly.
which is true. Okay, where's my other notes? Yeah, like obviously, this is not going to be a podcast about like the how-to of content creation.
No,
It's going to be a podcast about the God why of podcast creation.
Yeah,
of like kind of like
the gay guys of podcast creation.
Well, yeah, actually, because we do have an episode with a gay guy.
Well, we're also the gay guys.
We are also the gays. Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. I was like, who are the gays we're talking about? Is it us?
It is us.
Yeah, I think
this is us. Sorry. Keep going. Losing followers. I lost a bunch.
I lost so much. I kind of envision this as like our sports center.
Yes.
Like this is kind of like our channel is like the things that are happening, and this is sort of our post-game
analysis.
Our post-game analysis of like what went wrong today.
Exactly.
It's like several things. Oh my gosh, a miracle has happened.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I literally, when I got here, I was just like, not enough water. And they're like, there's no water here. And I was like, you know what? I'm a big, strong, brave woman. I could do this without water. And no, I can't.
No, suck that down, girl.
Suck that down, girl. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. Cool.
In the meantime, so yeah, this episode might be first or last, or we're figuring it out.
It might be last. It might be the last one.
Every episode might be our last.
I know. Let me go to my notes for today. But I kind of envision this actually might be the first episode.
It very well might be.
Great. We're off to a really good start, or it won't. But it definitely is like the first episode that we're shooting together.
Yes.
With just us. And we are going to have episodes like that. We're also going to have episodes where we have guests. Hilariously, today our guest was supposed to be John Marco Ceresi, but he is incredibly sick, which like doesn't shock me because that man is like, does not have an off button. He is constantly doing shit. And I'm just like, oh, you finally got sick? Well, join the rest of us. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm being petty about this. He's going to watch this and
Kristen
be like,
gets sick. You get sick.
I get sick a lot.
So you're like, when somebody gets sick, you're like, oh, first time.
Yeah, I'm just
anyway. He's a great guy. Probably I haven't met him, but he
yeah,
seems like a great dude.
But I obviously, if you're familiar with my lore, you know that I'm like around him. I've shot like several episodes of his podcast with him. So eventually, we're dragging him back. I'm more mentioning this for accountability on his behalf because I know, well, he won't get away from this. He'll be fine.
Anyway, yeah. So I guess what we're doing here.
Okay, let me actually get back to my notes.
Okay.
Can you tell that like we're definitely really experienced at this? So. Okay, I mentioned that already. I think like on our show, obviously, like it's very like lots of adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, on Fast and the Furious when it's like those cars and they're on like nitrous. And
I
they're,
have
like,
heard of that.
You have heard of that. Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
It's kind of I feel like our episodes of our show are like that, but I wanted this podcast to not be like that, to not have it be like us kind of being like, and now we got to get bites and now we got to be knit and we got to be loose. It's looser.
Los Angeles.
It's Los Angeles. Yes. We could have renamed this Los Angeles. No, we can't rename.
Okay,
we're not renaming this Los Angeles. All right. So now I'm actually going to get to my main notes of this. So I think that like the thing I kind of want to talk about today, and I realize I'm sitting you down for like a really difficult conversation.
Okay.
Is I think like we wanted to call this losing followers because we basically have lost followers every day since we quit BuzzFeed. I think every day since we quit BuzzFeed, we have lost. I have lost probably, I want to say, more than 100,000 followers. Since
I've certainly lost over 100,000 followers.
100,000 followers.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like that has a very large psychic impact on you where you kind of are like, oh, you're right, I am not interesting anymore. And like I think that's something that like all sort of content creators go through. I think that like I kind of wanted to talk about like sort of where we are sort of 5 years on, because I think that like when we first made our Why We Left BuzzFeed video, I think it was very raw.
Yeah.
It was very fresh. It was very just like we were like, don't.
It was gaping. It was a gaping maw.
It was a gaping maw. It was a gaping maw. And I think that, you know, it's been like 5 years. We're a little bit more removed from it. I think we're also like
we're in good places.
We're different people.
We've been through a lot.
We've diversified kind of. I mean, I have like a lot of projects going on. You have a lot of projects going on.
So let's talk, baby.
It feels a little bit less like our whole identity. So I feel like we can kind of talk more about like that time and also like that experience without it feeling like horrible.
Yeah.
That was my first part of my notes. I should have memorized my notes, but I didn't.
That's okay.
That's fine. This is because this is loose. Kristen, I'm getting text messages. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, everyone else. And like, I think that, yeah, I want to talk about like what our lives have been like content-wise in the 5 years since we've met, but I also kind of want to talk about how like 5 years ago, I think when we quit BuzzFeed, I was like, my goal was like, I want to reach a point in my career where I never have to make content ever again. And 5 years later, I think I now understand, especially given like the media and entertainment landscape we live in, that is never, ever going to be possible. Ever, ever, ever. And I think like being able to just log off permanently in entertainment and media is like such a privilege that it's
a rare thing
that you don't realize that you have until you've kind of lost it again. Like, because it's for a while it was like, I can post like every week or two and it's like not a big deal, and now it's like, no, I actually have to really start posting again because it's like a really serious problem, because my Instagram is the only and best asset I have. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm talking a lot, but that was sort of this week on the Kitchen and Jorn Enterprises, Jen's job was to edit the video and my job was to come up with a topic for the podcast. So that's why I'm talking a lot right now.
I mean, I love listening to you talk, obviously. Wait, so yeah, I mean, I think like 5 years ago, you know, it's funny because like, you know what?
What?
I don't know where I'm going. You talk.
So, like, it's funny watching. I will say, like, it's also funny, like, watching, like, the kids on, like, I don't even know if they're kids. They might be in their 30s. But the people on, like, Dropout.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like watching them, it's like watching people go through, like, a haunted house you've just gone through. Where you're just like, oh, there they go. And you kind of want to yell at them, like, it's really scary, but, like, you won't die. See you when you get out of it. Like... That's how I feel whenever I see people who are becoming internet famous like really quickly. I'm just like, it's weird, but don't worry, you will survive it.
100%. Yeah. I think like I'm confused.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what Dropout is?
Yes, they are. Dropout is a former college humor band.
Yes.
And they make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good for them. So I think like here's the thing, right? I came into this podcast and I was thinking it's gonna be loose, you know, we're gonna be loose. And I'm thinking maybe I'm a little too loose because I don't know what we're talking about at all. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what is going on. So we're discussing like we're kind of
discussing like, hey, how do we feel about being a content creator?
Okay, yes, I can answer that question.
Okay.
How do I feel about being a content creator? Well, girly pop. Yeah, I have a lot of mixed feelings about it, as you know.
I know you do. I think you actually have more mixed feelings about it than I do.
I am very ambivalent about it. There are times when I'm so grateful for the platform we've built and have and the creative ways we've been able to support ourselves. And there are other times where I feel like I made a deal with not the devil, but like certainly the
devil's uncle.
Yeah, the devil's uncle or
Steve.
Like, yeah, you know, some Steve and Stevie. And I feel like sometimes I have boxed myself into a corner where I don't know what path is the best to take in terms of like career or in terms of like how much I want to be online or not. And that can be really confusing and really tough. I will say like 5 years ago, I was really freaked out about starting our channel, our YouTube channel, because we had just left BuzzFeed, and I thought I'm gonna be doing this forever. I was like you, I was like, I just can't even imagine making content again. You know, I felt like, oh, it's okay because I'm with Kristen, and Christian. I was like, it's okay because I'm with Kristen,
Yeah.
and like you believed in us, and like honestly, you pushed me to do things that I needed to do, which was incredible. But yeah, like now it's funny because thinking back, it's like I still have so many mixed feelings about being a content creator and like what that means in terms of like my future and what I want to do and our stuff, all of that. But at the same time, it's like 5 years on doing this with you and knowing it's us running our business. It's like that fear of like, I can't believe we're still doing a channel or still doing the YouTube at the very least, that has gone away.
Yes.
That has gone away because it's sort of like, despite all the mixed feelings, gesundheit, girl.
Sorry.
But no, despite all the mixed feelings I have, I definitely feel like so much more at peace with what we do. But also I have very strict boundaries in place about how much I share online.
Yeah.
And also one thing that is a difference between you and me is, and you are much more smart about using your Instagram regularly, and also in a way that I think makes it so that you can continue to make money off it and also like continue to be, I think, present in that space online, right? I very much shut down with the exception of our YouTube. Since leaving BuzzFeed, I don't really post on social media at all anymore.
That's why I think it's funny.
But I have a podcast and I have a huge mouth and I have a YouTube channel. So it's like, I'm a closed book. I don't know who but there is a difference when you have like personal posts not really happening anymore. It's separated some things, but also that means you deal with so much more stressors of being a certain type of visible content creator that I don't do as much because I'm not putting myself out there on the other platforms as much.
Yeah, I think that is the thing. I know when we started a podcast, the thing that I was like, probably my chief worry was like,
we would shoot episodes and then an hour later I'd be like, we cannot release it.
Yes.
Delete the footage, delete my number, and run me over with a truck.
Yes.
You thought that was, yeah.
I was like, Jet, because you.
And there's historical context for that. She's not being a dick.
No,
you can explain.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you can
I tell these stories? Do you care? I won't.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, all right.
Tell them, and then maybe we'll cut the tape. Maybe you'll run me over later. No, okay, we won't.
Okay, so I won't be really specific, but there was there's one episode that we shot where I think Jen, I think you were just very anxious that day for like, because like your brain.
As you're saying very anxious, I realized like my shoulders are like up to my neck. I was like, what? No.
You're very anxious that day. And I think like, and sometimes like we don't drink a lot on the channel, but sometimes we drink.
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Very
Usually
rarely.
like if we're shooting a video where it's like, we're trying wines or something.
Yeah.
But this has only happened once or twice.
Yeah, like I know like we've done like shots in the middle of videos, which actually it's sometimes fun because like it will be like the food's so bad. Okay, I'm getting to the point. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm being a bitch. I do. It's my personality. Keep going.
Anyway, but like there was a video where Jen was like, I really just want to have a drink during this video, and I was like, yeah, sure, because I was like, whatever. Like, so I think I poured you a drink, and then like when we got the edit back, or you were like, we can't show me drinking in this video. And I was like, well.
You made that a big point of the video, ding ding. And I did.
I was like, so here's the thing. You have alcohol in like every shot of this video. So I don't know. We somehow are.
I should point out, I rarely drink.
Yeah, Jen never drinks. Jen never, ever drinks. But it was like one of those situations where I remember doing the edit of the video and being like, are you kidding me? And we got, it was fine.
We released it. It was
okay. We released it. It was fine.
But it was like, for example, if I kill a video we've shot, I kill the money we've already spent on that video. Yes. I also like kill a day of work. Yeah. And so the fact that like that's an impulse I have, I understand why you were nervous starting a podcast with me because like we're going to be loose. And I have a big mouth of anxiety disorder. There's a lot going on.
I know.
So all that to say is we need to cut the tape because I'm actually leaving. I'm done. But yeah, all that to say is you were nervous about starting the podcast.
I was because the thing is, I think that I think we're like really good at division of labor on our channel, and
We
that, like,
are.
we kind of both do like what we're best inclined to do, and like we kind of find like a natural balance in that division of labor in ways that like I think that we could not plan. I think it just kind of happens.
We certainly could not plan it.
We can not. Okay, so Jen's job on the channel is to be a bitch.
My job is to be so irritating. Kristen's job is to be like, I'll do one better.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but one way I think that we kind of divide labor on the channel is we make a lot of videos about like my life. We make a lot of videos about this because like the thing is, I think that's a muscle that I've really exercised and honed. I'm like really good at so this is something I was actually going to bring up in a different episode, but fuck it, let's bring it up now. I think a lot of being a content creator is like, it's a lot like being a magician. Stay with me. I know that's a really stupid metaphor.
I'm here.
I know it's stupid. Stay with me.
I'm here.
It's a lot like being a magician because magic is essentially distracting people from what's actually happening so that they are focused on what you want them to focus on.
Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of being a content creator who's quote unquote open is calling attention to the things that you want people to pay attention to so they don't pay attention to stuff that you'll never ever ever mention in your life.
Yeah.
Because there are things about like big things about my life I will never ever 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 even remotely mention on camera.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know it because I talk about a lot about everything else.
You do. You do, but that's what's so, just like to point out, it's like you do. There's so many things that people who don't know you personally know about you if they follow you. And it's crazy just how much behind the surfaces would never, ever, ever be revealed.
I'm like a swan. I'm very like placid up top and I'm like.
And so it's funny because like, and this, we're going to get back to the vision of labor thing in a second, but it is funny because Kristen is like, people think, and she is, right? She just objectively is a lot more open about her life than I am.
Yeah.
But people also just assume that you're not private. And you actually are. You're very private.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like the fact that you do share things is like such a big boon to the channel because you're doing that labor that I am not capable and also unwilling of doing.
Yeah. And that's fine because the labor that you don't see Jen doing is Jen sets up the cameras every single day. And that is actually.
Well, I do other stuff too.
You do, well, yeah, no, I'm talking about it. Jen also edits a lot of our videos. Jen also deals with like our accountants a lot.
We can,
like,
yeah,
like,
we get it.
We get it. Well, okay, you just got to edit me.
I'm sorry. We're shooting a podcast. Here's the problem, right? With us, this is also how we have conversations where it's like Kristen's being reasonable and I'm like, I'm going to be obnoxious. So sorry. But basically like.
I love this though. I feel like I'm getting, this is actually kind of what I wanted is I wanted people to see like what our actual conversations are like.
Yeah, terrible. All over the place. Like, I don't know. Imagine trying to listen to this podcast while driving in your car. Imagine trying to follow this conversation. It's just, I feel like that's a challenge. Like if we get episodes of this recorded, I'll listen to them and drive and I will drive over the several curbs.
Anyway,
what are they talking about?
So you want to talk about division of labor again?
Right. Yes, girl. Thank you for like getting it together. But so yeah, so division of labor stuff. It's like, I feel like we both work really hard on our channel. We just do it in different ways and we both provide things.
Yeah.
And like, but one of the things is like, I'm so grateful for you because like, because of my anxiety, because of just like my personality where I'm more private about certain things. It's like, I know there's value in like being open and I know there's value in creating space, especially when you are like a YouTuber and you have a community that you're trying to like connect with and keep invested every week. Like, it's like, I guess it's almost like I just want to say on the record that I know how much work you do and how much like, and I do feel like we really like carry each other through things, you know, like,
oh yeah,
we need things like when I need support, like when we're doing work on the channel, it's like sometimes Kristen's giving 80 and I'm giving 20. And sometimes I'm giving 80 and she's giving 20. Or sometimes we're giving 69 and I'm giving 69. And sometimes it's so crazy. But the truth is like, it's just like
sometimes we're having a threesome with the channel.
Yeah. But we carry each other through the work and we do have a good setup. But it is interesting being influencers again, because it's like, we have this business together and we still have very different philosophies and very different ways of navigating online.
Yeah.
And that, you know, different things. So it's interesting, I guess. I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm invested.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that the point, the point I was getting to like way back in the beginning of this is that I think that like a muscle that I know that you're gonna have to exercise is talking about yourself more, and I know it's something that you don't love doing, and it's like I think that you're a fascinating person, and I think you have a lot of good opinions, and I think that you have there's like a lot of interesting things about your life. And you're making that face like, I don't know if that's
Where are
true.
my shoulders? Are they at my ears?
Yeah, they literally are. You literally just did this.
I'm relaxed.
You're like a feral cat. You're just
truly.
But like it's true, because I think that like
I'm definitely gonna have to work on that muscle, because the podcast, obviously we're talking about work stuff, but we are getting a little personal, you know, and also because we're just doing convos, it's like stuff gets said.
Yeah. Listen, in every convo we have, stuff gets said. And I think that like it's so funny because I think when we get to like work, we get to work. I say we get to work. We get to my apartment.
When I go to Kristen's house.
When we go to my house. We probably I don't know if waste is a good way of putting it. No. We spend like about 2 to 3 hours putting around.
I was gonna, you know what?
Maybe less than that.
I was gonna say 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
I think you spend 45 minutes to an hour and a half. I think I spend 2 to 3 hours puttering around.
Well, but that's because like whenever I get to Kristen's house, if we're filming, especially if we're filming takes so much energy.
Yeah.
And we also just are energetic people. So it's like once we see each other at the start of the day, it's like, okay, we need like an hour to an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours to be goofy and like catch up and just sort of like, I think, brace our, you know, just sort of like get back into it. And I think also like, you know, again, we're not curing cancer, but I do feel there is like an element of like energy that we need to have if we're about to film a video. So us, when we first get together in the mornings, it's like, yeah, it's about recalibrating. It's about being silly. It's about getting our energy up. And so that's why we like goof around so much.
Yeah.
And that's also like, whenever we're goofing around, Kristen's like, see, this would be fun for the podcast.
Yeah. And I'm just like, we should be filming this. I know. And the thing is like, I'm trying to resist the millennial urge to monetize all of my hobbies. And one of my hobbies is spending like 4 to 5 hours shooting the shit with you every week.
Yeah.
I probably talk more to you than I talk to any other person in my life.
Besides Brie,
but even then, it's like it's like neck and neck. Because Brie and I have like very opposite work schedules.
That is true. I did know
So
that.
like Brie and I, when Brie's working, I'm usually fucking around, and when I'm working, Brie's fucking around. And so like, yeah, like there's definitely some weeks where I talk to you more. I mean, we own a business together.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. But no, I mean, so yeah, this is hopefully
I can go to my next notes. So
yeah, hopefully this podcast is really it's illuminating.
It's illuminating. So like, yeah, I mean, I think here's my question.
Okay.
How do you feel this is going? Like, how do you feel like do you think you have like another like 5 years of YouTube in you?
Yo. So that was my answer. In that I don't know, but I think I certainly have 5 more years plus of like being in close collaboration with you.
Yeah.
And so that I think makes it a little bit easier for me to be like, oh, okay, yeah, like I don't know how long we'll be doing YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know that I like working with you. I like being creative. You know, I want to do other things, right? I want to write. I want to like, you know, beat some video games, obviously. But yeah, like I think like, do I have 5 more years left in me? I think it's possible. I want to work in entertainment, right? I want to work in media, and I want to do things like that. Like I like working with creative people, right? So it's like, this feels, it's a good thing we have going, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
But also it's like, we get older, things change, like, we're at the mercy of like the algorithm. And again, this podcast
Yeah.
is called Losing Followers, you know, so the writing's a little bit on the wall, even if we're not, you know, looking at it all the time.
And it's hard. Like, I will say, like, it's really hard. One change I was not prepared for is the fact that people forget about you. Like, for lack of a better way of putting it, people do forget about you. Every time I post something on TikTok or Instagram, I get at least one comment from someone being like, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, where have you been? I'm like, I have been here the whole time. Like, I didn't go anywhere. Like, but I'll get like, especially TikTok.
Yeah.
People will be like, she's back. And it's like, every TikTok you guys say this. It's like, at one point, are you just going to accept that I never left? Like, it's really, it does.
Well, it's like those little things, right?
Yeah.
They're just like sort of little reminders you have where you're like, oh, this career is not going to exist. I don't know, you know? And that's, you know, that's sort of like everybody has existential dread, but that's sort of like, you know, you have these little moments throughout your day-to-day life where you're like, oh yeah, like the sword of Damocles or whatever it's called is like hanging over me. Like, this is not going to last forever. I don't know what that means, right? Because right now it's something and it's good to strike it and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But, you know, capitalism and we have to live in a world and you know, it's all that stuff.
It does feel, I mean, I will say sometimes it does feel, it's easy not to, I mean, we name this podcast ironically, but it does sometimes be like, oh, I feel like a has-been. I feel like, yeah. Well,
I don't know. It's like, what do you mean by that? Has been?
Well, it's
like we're still in the lane we've sort of always been in, I guess.
True.
But it's like we aren't making as much money off of it as we did when we were like at a big company and had like a lot more exposure. Well, that's not true necessarily.
I think we're not making as much money off of it as we were like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago it was like, all right, and then like I think there was a big algorithm change last year that like really hit us hard,
which sort of made all these like questions a lot more legible to us where it's like how long does this last, like how much can we put in before it feels like you know but has been
because like the thing is like I love making I would make stuff with you for the rest of my creative life.
Yeah, me too.
And probably beyond that, probably beyond what anyone wants to see from me. It might be like, Kristen live from the nursing home, I'm trying mashed peas FTFT. Like, I think that I would make.
By the way, FTFT is a BuzzFeed term that we still use. FTFT means for the first time, but sometimes we joke it means fuck down.
Yeah, so that's actually when I did my first hour of stand up last week. And
Kristen does an hour of stand up FTFT for the first time, but Kristen does an hour of stand up
fuck down. Everyone who was there for BuzzFeed knew I meant fuck down.
Yeah.
I think that like I feel like we'll be making stuff together forever. And like I think like what that form takes, like it'll probably change and evolve.
Yeah.
As we change and evolve. But like I think that I have reached a point in my career where I'm just like, I would really love for my biggest credit not to be BuzzFeed. I would really love when I get called on stage to do stand-up that the first thing that people say isn't, you know her from BuzzFeed. Because it's like, and the thing is, I realize that like you have to do a lot of work to get to the point where you have other credits, and like that's what I'm doing, and I can't say fucking me. But also it's I think I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it now.
Okay.
So we did like a live Q&A at UC Riverside. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at one point, I don't know did I mention this in the last podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, and at one point, someone stood up and like, I don't think they meant this question to feel as horrifically dreadful as it did, but they were just like, how does it feel to be like in the middle of like the most important thing you'll ever do with your lives? And we were all like, what? No, I think all 5 of us froze in like a completely unique way. We were all just like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, but she meant it like she meant it from a place of like,
she sees it as like, this is such an amazing thing that you're a part of.
Yeah.
This is obviously the peak from their perspective.
Yes. This would be like if I watched like the cast of Severance and I was just like, how does it feel to be on like the most important show you'll ever be on? Because like to me, it's like, wow, if I was on Severance, that would absolutely
They might feel that way though. Sorry, I just started season 2. What is up with that Asian child? I don't love that trope. Anyway.
You were like, okay, so we're going to talk about this later because you're like 2 months behind on this.
Yeah.
So,
not the point. So
yeah, but anyway, and I remember I will never forget. That's the only thing I remember from that night is that person being like what is it? The only thing I remember from that night is that one person being like, what is it like
to be peaking right
now? And I was like, well, I didn't think that that's what was happening, but I sure am thinking about it now. And it is hard, like 6 years out, not to be like, maybe I was.
I don't think so. I think like that was a time when like our old job was sort of like very esteemed online. It was seen as like this aspirational thing. We were sort of getting probably at the height of like the amount of support we were getting from that company. And I think to a bunch of media students who are like 20, they're, they don't have perspective yet. Like, so I guess now I just think like, I don't know. And I don't mean to like be like, I disagree. Cause sometimes I don't even really know what I'm saying, and we'll see where this one goes. But I think like we were a part of a time, we were like part of a moment that happened and was like special and like wouldn't happen again. Like the internet is different, like everything, the way we communicate online is different. What goes viral is different. But at the same time, it's like what we're doing now, and I know it's not because it's still YouTube, but what we're doing now feels so different from what we were doing then. And like the amount of agency we have now is so different, so much more clear and just better, right? That I understand thinking that way, but there's a part of me that wants to be like, dude, like, no, like not a has-been, not like it's just a different wave now.
But I mean, it's like it has changed, but also it's like it's just different. It's different people. It's like I was talking to Brie about this actually. Brie was like, well, yeah, I mean, she's like, yeah, 10 years ago it was you guys, and 20 years ago it was everyone on Funny or Die. And I was like, oh my God, you're right.
I think that's the thing, right? It's just like we are gonna be we sort of like had that. I'm just repeating myself, but yeah, to me it's like,
how do you feel about it? With regard, I mean, you're talking about it how you feel about it with regards to me, but how do you feel about it with regards to like, do you fear like that was like the peak of your life?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't, because I just think like, I don't know, man. It's like, I guess like the way I feel is like that was a special time. It was, but I was so miserable, and I wasn't at like my best self. I wasn't healthy. There were so many things about myself I didn't know. I wasn't on antidepressants. I wasn't on birth control.
Yeah,
like,
you were trying to take spinach.
Yeah, my hormones were all over the place. Like I was so, I was in a bunch of bad relationships, Yeah, it's like, I look back at that time and I think like it got us, it got us through a lot, and I'm grateful, and we had some great experiences. But I just think like the people that we are now, like you can only be exploited like that, or like just kind of feel exhausted like that. And like for me, I think of that time as like, oh, we can't go through anything like that. That path doesn't exist, because it's like we already did it. Like we can't be in a position where we're going to work that hard for people that don't care about us again.
We can't be 40-year-old college students.
Right. Yeah. And so I just like, when I think
we graduated.
Like looking at the wave, I was like, yeah, we were part of this moment, but there were things that we did to be present, when we were very visible online and like going viral all the time, like that. Now I'm sort of like, well, thank God that I don't have to, that person doesn't exist anymore. That the people that we were that could do that, like, aren't in those positions anymore. And so I think like peak wise, I don't know, but I just know like whatever comes, I guess I feel like very at peace about it almost. Like it's
That makes
like what's
sense.
coming next is going to come.
And you know what's crazy is that like
Sorry, I feel like I'm being condescending and I don't mean
you're
to
not being
be.
condescending. No, you're not being. You're doing honestly exactly what I hoped you would do, which is like talk about this in a way that I know you genuinely feel.
Yeah.
Like this is how I know you actually feel. Like no, you're not being condescending at all. I think that like honestly, I'm thinking about like honestly, it was so crazy when we were there. It never felt like we were on the inside. It always felt like we were on the outside looking in, even when we were there. Even when we were there.
Right.
It
Like I
felt
think
that.
I miss the financial security and I miss knowing that we could post something and it would get so many more views and that would lead to so many more things. That's what I miss, but it's like I can't think of that as the peak. I can be grateful for it.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate it for what it did and for their people and you and me and everything, but like I can't see it as the peak because I was just like we were, just so unhappy and being treated in ways that and like there were so many things about ourselves we didn't know. um I was so much worse at talking to girls back then.
Yeah.
And like
you're way better. You've been talking to a girl for 36 minutes.
yeah,
And that's,
Queen,
you know.
but I don't know, I think like I think that's it.
I think no, it makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like I think like because like we're so removed from it, like the angry parts of me are like a little bit more dulled, and the nostalgic parts of me are a little bit more like
That's understandable.
tuned up.
I mean, I'm nostalgic for a lot of things about that time, and I'm nostalgic again. Like we got to travel a lot more because a lot of stuff was getting paid for. Things were going more viral, so there was just a lot of more ad money coming in. Like that's.
I mean, but also like we were in a meeting once, and I won't name names about who was in the meeting, but you can probably guess. We were in a meeting once where like it was supposed to be like the big meeting about like the future of our particular brand, and the person who was in charge of money and access and all that stuff like that basically came in, and it was clear within like 10 minutes that he did not watch our show.
Yeah.
He didn't watch our show. He didn't know what it was about. He couldn't list anything he liked about it. Couldn't list anything he didn't like about it. He didn't know. He didn't watch it. And that's kind of the stuff that we went through where it was just like continual disrespect.
Yeah.
But like now I'm kind of like, man, health insurance though.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Of course. I should point out we both have health insurance.
Yeah, we do. I know, but like the thing is like health insurance
that we don't pay. It doesn't feel like we're paying for because the employees cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. I think though, yeah. That guy was an asshole. Not the point, but
he sucked.
He did suck.
He sucked so bad.
He was so awful.
I know. Honestly, I kind of like that this can become a venue where I tell stories where I don't say names, but I can say like, hey, this thing that happened to us was pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Where were we? What are we talking?
I mean, listen, I can tell another story about like the same.
Before that though, where were we?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember where we were. Here's the thing. We're going to get better at this. If I'm talking too fast or if we get distracted, we're going to get better at podcasting. So, bear with us as we improve this. I have no idea where we were.
Okay, yeah, me either.
That's a really good.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? Well,
because like, okay. How do you feel about your
Oops. I want to drop my water as per usual. I will say the one thing that I think is like a little tuned up for me. Well, I that's not true. Only took a sip of water and I'm in process.
Okay.
I will say, like 3 years ago, I think I was at the peak of my feeling like resentful. I think I definitely was just like, our lives would be so much easier right now if only X, Y, or Z had happened.
Yeah.
With regards to people who are above us, rather. And I think that now my life is in like such a different direction that like I've kind of been able to like let go.
Yeah.
And like that, I kind of like don't, because it's like, I don't really want that direction. Like I want like a different direction. Like I want like, I want things that I've been working for. And like, that's, that kind of coincides with the fact that I sort of decided to just keep my eyes on my own paper, And like, now that I keep my eyes on my own paper with regards to like my work and like doing things that like I actually want to do, I kind of don't feel that way anymore. I think I'm just like in that, I personally am in that middle space between the last great thing I did and the next great thing I do. And it feels annoying because it feels like you're never gonna get to that next thing, but like you can't get to that next thing until you work on it. And like that means working on things for years and years and years. And like, the things that I'm working on right now, like realistically are not really going to come to fruition until like, if we still have an earth by then, are not going to come to fruition until like 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
Like, and I just have to like wait. I have to just wake up every day and do the work and wait. And I think that is one thing, way the BuzzFeed poisoned our brains a little bit, is that like we were just going viral every week. And it was like, oh, this only got like 1 million views. Well, what did you fuck up about it?
Yeah.
And which is crazy. It's like just absurd. And I think like that, the instant gratification really, really, really fucks with you too. And because like that's with YouTube and with social, there's a level of instant gratification that does not exist in traditional media, like at all.
Yeah.
Like you spend years working on projects, years and years and years, and then like they don't happen. And it's like you kind of just have to like get used to like a level of patience. So I think how I feel is that I've had to deprogram my brain from like feeling like if I'm not succeeding every week, I'm failing.
Yeah.
And I've had to get used to being more patient. And I've had to get used to keeping my eyes on my own fucking paper and not worrying about what someone else is doing. Not with regards to like, they shouldn't have that. More like, oh, I don't work hard
Yeah, like
enough.
don't compare yourself to people.
Yeah, like I do a lot of, I don't really do that anymore because I'm on my own path.
Yeah.
And also like, occasionally I'll see people where I'm just like, wow, that person really seems to have figured it out. And then like I interact with them and I'm like, you seem tired.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't know if I want to be. So that's how I feel in general. I don't know if that made sense.
That made a lot of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I think without the instant gratification stuff, it's like there's this element of you have to be able to remind yourself every day that that you have to be the person that's reinforcing your security in like what we're doing and your belief that like going into a creative field will pay off or whatever, that you'll get to express yourself in the way you want, right? And that's programming that takes time to sort of undo when you've been sort of in the content mines for a while, It's so funny though. It's like the projects you are working on, like Kristen's working on her memoir, she's touring for stand-up all the time, she's doing amazing things. I don't know, dude. Like I feel like as an outsider, or I guess not an outsider because I'm on this couch with you, as an insider who's not you.
You're not inside my body.
Yeah. I would say that I think to me it's so clear that those things are going to pay off. And so it's almost like I get that you feel this anxiety but I'm not you. So I'm just sort of here being like, it's going to work out. Like this shit's going to come. You're going to get the gratification from that because like you are that good and the stuff is taking the time it needs. It's just taking longer because we're no longer. I mean, here's the thing. The YouTube stuff is taking the same amount of time. We're releasing every week. But the other projects that you're working on, yeah, that's taking longer.
Yeah.
But it's also just like the you that was going viral all the time 5 years ago wouldn't be succeeding at the things you're doing. You wouldn't be able to like, you would be working on a very different book. You'd be working on, you wouldn't be doing, your stand-up would have very different content. Like,
I think about that a lot. I don't have a single bit about BuzzFeed.
That's good, probably.
I have an hour. I don't have any material about BuzzFeed.
Our shit's so funny. You are so funny without, like, you are so different. You know what I mean? Like,
we're both so different.
We're both so fucking different.
So different. I mean, like, we've mentioned I think we've talked about the first time we ever shot like a video together. We've talked about this.
Oh,
yeah. We made a video about it.
We'll get there.
We made a video about it, whatever. Yeah, but you're so different. I like the first time I ever met you, I was just like, oh, who is this child?
Well, I was 21.
Yeah. And now I'm like, who is this like grown like adult human who I know it's like because like when I think about in my real life, like if I need really 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 sage grounding advice more than any other person I think in the world, you are the person I come to. Because I think that like you are like as I've said, I don't know if I said this on camera before, but like you are a profoundly emotionally intelligent person, like maybe the most emotionally intelligent person I know. And I think that like that's
And you know how that's true? Because somebody else is saying it. If I said I was emotionally intelligent, but because she's saying it, you guys know it's true.
Yes, exactly. It's the Kitchen and Jorn guarantee. You know, it's crazy. We are 46 minutes into this. I don't think we've said our names.
Oh shit. I'm Fucktown and that's Fucktown.
Yes, this is the Fucktown podcast.
I'm Jen.
I'm Kristen Cherico. This is Jen Ruggiero.
Yes.
We're both Italian, but not really.
Yeah, and that's our Instagram is at Kitchen and Jorn. Wait, no, I don't know that. Fuck. Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
The Kitchen Jorn. Okay.
They
podcast.
Anyway.
I think what we're doing on this podcast.
Anyway, going back to what we were saying before.
All that to say is, I hope this conversation has shed some light on what it's like to be two gay dudes in Los Angeles
who feel kind of washed up, who feel like a little washed up.
Happy sluts with big dreams, though.
Happy sluts with big dreams, though.
We're optimistic.
What are you? Can we talk about what you're working on?
Sure.
What are you working on?
Trying to get like my own deodorant line off.
Okay, what are you actually working?
Yeah. Okay. So I am working on. I'm always working on like scripts, right? Like television pilots, TV dramas, things like that. And I also recently have been sort of deciding like, oh yeah, I always had this dream that I wanted to write like a novel, and like that's something that I've sort of been really shy about being like, that's a dream of mine. That's something I want to do. And
I'm glad I incepted that into you. I was just like, you know what you should do, you stupid bitch.
Well, it's funny because I
should write a book, you stupid bitch.
Yeah. So I definitely like, I'm in the very early stages of like what I would want to do, but like, I'm at the point where it's like, yeah, I'm going to take a couple classes, just like some UCLA extension classes, just to like meet people and like do whatever. But yeah, basically I know that like I want to write and I want to work in media and I want to do things like that. And so for me, it's like, we do the YouTube, we do the podcast, we try to have a life. And I also try to use the time I have with this flexibility of our job to write and work on like completing things that I'm proud of and seeing where that takes me.
That's the other thing. So like we obviously we will complain a lot about YouTube. This podcast will be a lot of us complaining about YouTube. It will be a lot of us bringing on guests where we complain to them about YouTube.
Sure.
It'll be a lot of us complaining about Reels and TikTok and how we don't know how to make them. And I think it's hurt us, and I refuse to learn. So we'll talk a lot about that. But the thing I will say is that I've realized recently that like, ooh, I have too many chronic illnesses to have a regular job. Uh-oh, I'm all in on this. Which is a little scary. It's a little scary to realize that like, yeah, you kind of backed yourself into a corner there, Cherico. Cause that's the other thing I worry about. I have no job skills.
You do job skills.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Jen, what are my job skills? Talking about myself?
You could people manager, writer, like you'd be able to get a job in media. I don't think it would be as
what jobs in me? There are no jobs in media.
Okay, fine. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But you do have job skills. Don't say that. That is not true.
I do think it is true though, because the thing is like when I say I have no job skills, the things people are looking for are like hard skills, not soft skills. Like people want like everyone has fucking soft skills. Like people want like
they want the blue chew of skills.
Yeah. The what?
They want rock hard skills.
Okay. I was like, what are you okay, yeah, they want rock hard skills. They want like those like hard as fuck skills. But they want people who can edit. They want people who can shoot things. They want people who can like fucking actually put up and break down our lights without breaking them. Which is not something I can currently do. It's so bad. And I think like a lot of the reason why you do a lot of that setup is because I think maybe, I don't know, I might be just like guessing, but I think the reason why you do a lot of that setup for us is because you also understand that it takes like about an hour and a half for me to get ready, and it takes you about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like it occurred because at first I was like, oh, I feel so bad about this, but then I was like, wait a second, in order for me to get on camera, the amount of effort it takes is just like so much more than the amount, because like Jen is just a naturally hot person.
Okay, where are we going? What are we doing?
Well, sometimes we're not gonna go where. Sometimes we're just
Okay,
gonna
we're
go.
just
We're just gonna go where I'm taking us.
Okay, yeah, I'll hop on.
But like Jen is just like a naturally like very hot person. And so Jen can kind of just like roll out of bed and like be hot. And
The shoulders are going up, man.
because you're so anxious about where I'm going with this.
No, I'm good.
But like it takes me like a lot longer to like get camera ready, and so I feel like you just kind of have naturally intuited this, and like just sort of like allow us to compensate for it. Or maybe I'm just imagining that you do this. Maybe
I mean, yeah, but it's really just like that's just I just know like it's like it has to get done. It's my job to do it. Like that's I think of it as like these are the things I do. Like I'm in terms of like the physical aspects of our job, sure, yeah, I'm doing more, but that's because you're doing so much more in terms of like the emotional aspect, and like also you do administrative stuff. She's the one producing this podcast. Like I didn't do anything for this.
I don't know if I did a good job producing this podcast.
I mean, yeah, but
we've listened to it later.
You're here and I'm here. That's something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I guess so. Yeah, I feel like maybe.
I do. Where we were going with this is I say I am worried
about what's different, because it's like, what are the skills you would need to get a regular job?
I don't think I could get a regular job, because like what would I say? I'd be like, hi, I'm like I don't know if I have job skills anymore. That's the thing that I worry about. And so it's like
you started a business for 5 years.
Yeah, but like starting what is that? Like,
and then you just lie. Be like, so we're a Fortune 500,000 company.
Well, we might be a Fortune 500,000 company.
525,600 companies.
Sorry,
no rent. The rule on our podcast is nobody's allowed to sing rent.
No one's allowed to sing rent. But actually it's so funny. We made that joke that we used to make that joke a lot, that we were a Fortune 500,000 company. And I think we made it in a brand video.
Oh, and they didn't like that?
And they didn't like it. They didn't think it was funny. So they made, oh my God, we did a brand video once where they were like, because most of the time when we do brand videos, the brands, they want to like make sure their brand comes across well, and like they approve that, but they basically are like pretty loosey-goosey with like the rest of it. Because like they're just like, well, you know, this is a kitchen and Jorn experience.
Like, you're YouTube,
yeah. We had one brand who was giving like joke notes. And we were like, and they weren't like good joke notes. They were bad. They were bad ones. And I don't know if they paid us enough to give us as many joke notes. But anyway, that is all to say, no, I really don't have job skills. And that is why I am so paranoid about like becoming increasingly irrelevant in a rapidly changing digital landscape.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the chronic health or the abilities to do a job other than, I guess I could be like an assistant again. I could do that. But like that's just being a competent person. Like that, I mean, that's not, I don't know. But like I don't have like I guess I do have job skills.
You do have job skills. I was like, you could do, all right, this is going somewhere. Well, we'll talk about this after. But
that is all I'm saying.
But yeah, I think like, I mean, just to, I guess where I thought this is going is like, yeah, like there's a flexibility that we have because of our current jobs that like is great, but also it's sort of like, it makes it hard. It's hard to rely on it because it's like, you can't feel safe in it because you're like, if that flexibility goes away, it's like, bro, like all like, then it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, I still think we'd figure it out, but
we would figure it out.
It is anxiety inducing.
I know, it's very anxiety inducing. Like I think that like I know I keep looking at this like on air thing. We both have too much ADHD to be in a room with like brightly colored objects.
Yeah,
that's why we picked the green room, because it's like it's all green. It can't get distracting.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think that I think that is a little bit why we're starting this podcast, is because it's like we have to diversify, and also I feel like we have so much fun talking to each other that it's like, why are we not just doing that?
And I think like, here's the thing, right? I hope people have fun listening to these. I hope nobody crashes their car besides me while listening to these. Yeah, we'll keep making them. I think hopefully people hopefully will like them.
I know.
This is losing followers.
This is losing followers. Yeah. I know. Now, here's the thing. I want to tell one more story before we go. And then,
Okay.
yeah. Like, so I was in another meeting with this person who I won't name, who is terrible. And he gathered a bunch of women in this meeting. And I know, right?
I know the story.
You know
I'm
the story.
sorry.
You know the story. And he basically said to all of us, if I put like a bunch of dollar bills in the middle of this table, who of you has a show that I should give those dollars to? Which is...
Oh, he also said, show me that you deserve these dollars. Which
Oh,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the most creepy, insane things to say.
I know. And it was like, yeah. So that's the job that we had, was a job where things like that happened. And I was like, I should write a book about this. But then I was like, no.
You're writing a much more interesting
I'm writing
book.
a much more interesting book.
Yeah.
I'd rather just drop these little tidbits on this podcast. But yeah, listen, if you made it this far, you got to hear that too. Yeah, anyway, this has been our first episode. We're gonna have more guests. We're gonna occasionally have episodes where we just chat with each other when we have like specific conversations that we just want to have.
Yeah.
But I think it was like important for us to just like have a conversation where we're just like, hey buddy.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about what's been going on with us emotionally. Yeah, I mean, we will release these probably. We're gonna release this in a chunk. I don't know if this one's gonna be the first one. It might be the first one or the last one. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah,
we can wrap it up.
Thank you. Oh God, my voice. Sorry, I'm waiting for my balls to drop. Thank you so much, Kristen, and thank you so much, Jen, for being here.
Thank you so much, Kristen, for being here, and thank you so much, Jen. You know what we didn't do actually at the start of this?
Oh, the arm wrestling.
We forgot to arm wrestle.
We'll do that next time.
We'll do that next time. Jen, when we were planning this, Jen was like, "I have one request. We have to arm wrestle every single episode
to get the energy up."
And I was just like, I don't think we're gonna need to do that. I think we could just get the energy up. But I appreciate your level of dedication.
Well, to my level of dedication is saying something and not doing it.
Yeah, that's
that's me, girl, and that's why I have the hard skills to get a real job. After no, I'm just kidding. All right, thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you guys soon. It's Kristen Cherico on Instagram, so you could please follow me on Instagram so I don't keep losing followers.
Yeah, I'm at Jen Rigatoni on Instagram. Keep following me, but you're not gonna really get much out of it.
Also, hilarious story. Someone actually DM'd me yesterday to be like, I thought that like. She's like, I thought this whole time that Rigatoni was Jen's last name.
A lot of people think that.
It's not.
It's not, but that's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. We're done with this now. Love you guys. Bye.